they're now about 12 grand. I go, what do you mean? And I'm with Michael Pickley, and we're heading to the art fair at the Melbourne exhibition. What is it?
Centre?
Centre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrea and I just constantly spoke to each other, and I started to get intrigued about the artwork, thanks to him. As we're chatting, he said, "Oh, Chris, if you're interested in maybe buying a piece of art, I've got one that I think you should probably invest in."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, look, let's have a look. I liked it." Anyway, so he started sending me different genres, different styles of art.
Yep.
And I was attracted to brightness more than anything else, and Marvel characters like villains and heroes, Batman, Robin, that sort of stuff.
Sorry? What draws you to this piece?
To the colour. The colour and just the way,
Very, very amazing.
what I understand is that they talk about their culture, like villains and heroes, Batman, Robin, that sort of stuff. Anyway, and Aboriginal art. There was a lot of colourful Aboriginal art that I really liked as well. Anyway, so I said to him, I said, "What about that piece of artwork that you showed me last time?" Anyway, he goes, "Yeah, that was," I can't remember who it was, but anyway, he goes, "Yeah, but they're now about 12 grand. I go, "What do you mean? In 2 years?" He goes, "Yeah, he was picked up, this artist, he was a local artist, he was picked up by an art gallery, and now his stuff is a lot more expensive." And that interested me even more, because now I can make $1 out of it too. It's not just an interest, and not so much $1. I haven't sold any out of the pieces that I own. It's just purely I have them, and I've got them up on my wall.
Yeah.
And that's how I really got into it. You sort of, the more you sort of look at it, the more they tell a story. And then you got Michelangelo, of course, which is not my sort of art, but I can understand. It's just storytelling.
Yeah.
And art's been around forever. You've got a nice big white wall, and it just breaks up your wall with intrigue. Look, art is a perception. It's not for everyone, and I prefer contemporary art rather than Renaissance or landscape.
Yep.
My preference is modern contemporary.
Yep.
Yeah. The reason behind it is it's colourful. It tells an individual story.
Yeah.
And again, the story is a perception of what. Maybe how you're feeling at the time, and what you're looking at. It might make you happy, and you might want to just look at like the pieces of art that I've bought. And the other thing is, I always look at these and try and see if there's a shape that's the same, which I never find. They're all very different.
That's crazy.
But again, it's a perception, and I think the world's been built on perception and art.
Yep.
And I just constantly find it interesting, and I look forward to these shows because every year there's something different, and this year's actually a pretty good year. See, for me, you need that on a dark wall or colour
contrast.
Yeah, see, that's mad.
Yeah, that breaks up.
Yeah. I like the run. You see how they run?
Yeah, how do you?
Yeah. It's just perception of what you like. It's a bit like wine. People say, "Oh, this wine's the best, that wine's the best," but sometimes I've tried that wine and it's not my palate.
Yeah.
Okay. Like a lot of people talk about a Grange, and Grange is a beautiful wine, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But each year is very different, and I've had bottles of wine that are a lot cheaper that are just as good as that year of Grange. So, and I relate it to art. Art again is the same. It's all perception, and art comes in a lot of different ways. For example, there's an artist called Robert Fielding, who was a small artist and out from Northern Territory, Aboriginal art, but he paints, he does photography art, and he does sculptures. So he's got 3 different genres. I've got 2 of his pieces, and every 2 or 3 years his genre changes. He's now been picked up by the Canberra Art Gallery, or a major art gallery, and his pieces have just increased in value as well, which is interesting the way it all works. I hope all this makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah.